Hello, it's Christmas Eve, and my name is Jen Bull, and I raise money for people with disabilities. So I live in Madison, Wisconsin, and the longer you watch this, the more I can raise money. So my charity a lot of times confuses people. So um, I raise money for people with disabilities, but I buy bikes that are adaptive technology bikes. So not everybody who's disabled is completely incapacitated. So, and I'm going to try to make this as short as possible, but watch my video, stay on here a long time so I can use my TikTok money to either buy a bike or put it toward the endowment fund or all the things. So, when I was a kid growing up in Jefferson, Wisconsin, there was a place called St. Coletta School. And Rosemary Kennedy went there, or she stayed there. And Jerry from Rain Man, the character that Rain Man was based on, lived there. And they taught the people who lived at St. Coletta, or at least the ones who were able bodied, to ride bicycles if they could balance, so they could ride into town to spend their allowance. So we had a five and dime store, there was a pharmacy, there was like a Hallmark store, and they could ride into town. There was a bakery, they could spend their allowance, and then so they would, anyway, so they were riding bikes. So I didn't see that as a deterrent. And then I went off to college, and then I became a librarian, and I worked with special needs kids at the library. So I had kids who were in wheelchairs, kids who were blind. I had kids who had Down syndrome. I had all kinds of kids working for me at the library, and I had them do all kinds of tasks that helped me out in the area where I worked. They put barcodes on books, they stamped books for me, they labeled things for the book sale, they shredded documents for me. So they had all kinds of skills that were useful for my department. And again, I figured out, like, okay, special needs for special kids. And then I moved back to Madison, and I created this foundation for people to ride bikes and to create a lifelong love of biking. And I have purchased a couple of bikes. They weren't the expensive adaptive technology bikes yet, because we're still working on raising some money for that. And we run it through a place called Madison Community Foundation, which is a great way to do a 501c3, because they'll house it for you and they'll take care of the money, so everything is smooth sailing and you don't have to worry about the audits, because they'll take care of the audits and you can deposit the money right there, and nobody has to worry about losing track of the money. Like, the money just goes right into their account there. And then it's an endowment fund. And then I have placed bikes with certain people, and or people or places. The Sun Prairie Public Library used one of our bikes as a summer reading prize, which was a whole lot of fun. And then we donated a bike to Free Bikes for Kids, and they donate bikes to kids. And I had an extension bike that a family used, where it was kind of like a tandem bike. So it helped a family adapt a bike for a special needs child. And so I am trying to raise more money to get more bikes for people. So different kinds of bikes can work with different kinds of kids. A balance bike might work for a child with autism. A tricycle bike might work for an adult with a balance issue. An e-bike might be great for someone with muscle atrophy or weakness. They have rickshaw bikes or trishaw bikes for people who aren't able-bodied at all, so maybe someone in memory care or someone who's wheelchair bound could be taken around as a passenger. So I created this foundation because my partner in life, Paul, was a competitive bicyclist. He was very, very athletic. He competed in races. He traveled around the world and went on bike trips. And sadly, he passed away while he was riding a bike. Actually, he was riding a 100-mile bike ride and he died suddenly. And so I wanted to create a legacy in his honor. And I wanted to create a lifelong love of biking. And I combined that with my lifelong experience with people of special needs. And I myself, sorry, I can't ride a two-wheel bike either. I have balance issues from an injury that I sustained, so I need a tricycle bike myself. So I want to put smiles on faces. I want to do more than basic human needs. I want to enrich people's lives and have them put a smile on their face. And there are places like Badger Camp or Lions Club Camp where these bikes can be enjoyed by lots of people. And there's a nursing home kind of at the end of my block here in Madison. And their volunteers can ride some of the residents around the block, and I see that sometimes here. There's a group that volunteers and does that, and I'm sorry for all the ands and the ums, but I'm trying to answer some questions people have asked me, because there are people who are like, why disabled people? Or there are people who are like, they don't understand why the bikes are so expensive. And that's because, they can manufacture a lot of two-wheel bikes. And some people who have special needs can ride a two-wheel bike too. So I can get those as well. And there are, there's a price point for every budget, on the madisongives.org/Van Delst page. The minimum donation is $20. And that's only, I think, that's only just the system requirement. And, but I also have done fundraisers. I have sold things on Poshmark and donated the proceeds to madisongives.org. A woman named Supriya Tiwari donated a bicycle. We did a split the pot raffle. We've done all sorts of things to raise money for these bikes. And it's kind of like a passion for me. And it's very exciting. So if you love biking, this would be maybe something you could do. This might be wonderful if you know somebody who is a special needs person who could benefit. You can comment. The best way to get the word out is to like, comment, repost, follow my page, all the things, and have a great Christmas, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.